Raanan is fat and he's a Jew. He'll tell you something that you already knew. Your favorite movie sucks. Your favorite movie sucks. American Beauty or Forrest Gump. Your favorite movie sucks.
So let's talk about the movie that we came here to talk about.
I know you're going to fucking pick on me.
So I, of course, asked her what her favorite movie is.
I didn't realize it was for a whole thing.
And
obviously, I would have gone more Sideways, Vertigo.
Her favorite movie came out like 4 years ago. It's always funny when someone's favorite movie comes out 4 years ago. Because I'm kind of like,
know, right?
What were you doing before that?
Honestly, nothing.
What was your favorite movie?
Before
Nothing?
that, Austin Powers, Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, so you just had an opinion at 12? And
Yeah,
then
I did. It
Till...
stayed there. Yeah.
So
like
her
a kid
favorite
who's like
movie-
Republican because his parents are.
Her favorite movie, which I rewatched.
And by favorite, I mean pop it up as millions of times. I'm still going to fucking watch.
And I probably could have
tune
guessed
in.
this was your favorite because we've talked about it a lot.
And we've sang it before.
We have sang it before.
On Thanksgiving a couple years ago when I was out.
Blackout, yes, I still
And
remember.
I was singing.
You were obsessed with the movie. The movie is, of course,
A Star
Schindler's
is Born.
List. A Star is Born.
Yeah. Schindler's List was two, but I was like, I don't want to get too weird.
A Star is Born. The
Third one. There's
I
three
think
of
it's
them.
actually four.
Fourth one.
The
The fourth Star is
the
Born.
remake of the remake of the remake of the movie,
remake.
of the remake. A Star is Born, 2018.
Yep.
Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga, originally going to be Beyonce.
Yep. And guess who else?
Uh,
Andrew Dice Clay.
oh, is in the movie. Yes, he was great in it.
He's great in it.
I know.
Again, speaking of older men,
Oh yeah,
best
no,
part
he
of
was-
A Star is Born is the
that is
driving men, the men who are driving.
Those guys, those chauffeurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
That part where they're like, "What's the algorithm?"
Yeah,
and they're
he's
like
like-
trying to explain it.
It's like,
That's
it's
really
like
funny.
the beat.
So I saw this in theaters.
And I will denote, I'm a big music person.
Yes.
I do like musical stuff like that.
and
I
this
always
is kind of. I mean,
and I
it's,
love pop songs, and I also like Lady Gaga before this. So
yeah, like she was huge before this. That's not like. It's not like she was a nobody and then she did this movie. You're like, I actually was like into the most famous musician of all
I was
time
trying to say
before
why,
the movie came out.
Why maybe I like the movie so much.
So funny. You're like, I was into Lady Gaga.
It's like so weird now. Everyone's into her. I'm like, I was the only
So
one who was
funny.
like, rah, rah,
There's a Michael Jackson Broadway show now, and it's like, I was into Michael Jackson
Yeah.
before the Broadway
before
show.
that. Yeah, but now everyone's doing Thriller.
Lady Gaga, and I gotta say, the music in this movie is incredible.
Thank you.
It is
Yeah,
incredible
agreed.
because it's always
Agreed.
exciting. This show's called Your Favorite Movie Sucks. That doesn't mean I'm going to shit on every movie, by the way.
All good.
It means that if I have issues, I have a lot of issues with this movie, but we'll talk about that later. But I want to start positive, okay?
Yes. Music, good.
They created hits.
Agreed.
They created hits. That's
Yes,
a
they
hard
did.
thing to do, to make us to write songs that
It's
feel like
really
hits.
hard. Like the last one was like, do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah.
It's hard.
But it's like they actually have to be hits. Like a musical can have shitty songs. This has to be a song that you believe would have been a hit.
Exactly.
It's like a meta thing. You know
So
what I mean?
like Bradley Cooper is a big rock star.
Yeah.
And then Adam and Daddy.
Yeah, he's
And then she's Poppy. So
No.
yeah, it is pretty crazy.
I'm never really clear what her musical style is.
In real life?
No, in the
In the
movie.
It
She's
gets weird once the agent takes over and turns her hair orange.
and she seems to
At
be
first, she was like, "Yeah, I'm like a piano girl,
and
like
also
grungy."
we'll leave this to the negative part.
Okay.
It feels like a sketch where everything's sped up so quickly. It's just like she does one.
It does
she
happen
goes on
fast.
stage and like
Yeah.
you just got won a Grammy.
It does happen fast.
And then she's like suddenly knows how to be like a Backstreet Boy dancer or whatever. Like she just know. I don't know. But anyway,
Dude, I feel like the pop industry does that though.
Does it?
They
Maybe
pick
you're right.
someone out and then they're like, "Let's go."
But she
Dua
seemed to
Lipa
just
used to not be able to dance, and now
Really?
she can dance. Yeah.
But it still seems so quick in this. She seemed to she didn't seem to be a dancer at all.
True.
And then the next scene, she's in the gym, just like doing like.
True.
They
But
don't really.
It's supposed to show like, oh, she's in the gym.
Yeah. You're right.
Because remember she did that song, and
But-
her manager was like, "Where are the dancers? I don't want to use a dancer. She's probably in
By
there
the
every
way,
day."
It's so hard to not go to the negative parts. But that manager, it
Yeah.
is the biggest cliche in all movies.
I know.
They always come in the exact same point. There's always a point where some smug. It's the
Always.
same. It's They do this even in good movies like Social Network. What's his name is clearly like that part. Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
It's just always the guy. He's always skinny.
Take out the.
He's always skinny. And
He's
he's
like,
like,
the.
that was great.
Sorry.
I got some ideas.
Oh, there it is. Sorry,
And they
I'm being like-
basically have just horns coming out of
Agreed.
their head.
Yeah, they have horns, and they always have like a close cut hair, like kind of like a tall twink.
This is a template for so many movies. There's the artist, the main character. I mean, this is a little different, but Bradley Cooper is essentially like the Andrew Garfield. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always the person who's
Exactly.
like, "Oh, be wary of them."
Yes.
You know, and then there's the guy who's just always just the worst person ever.
Worst person ever.
No
There's
shade.
always got to be a worst person ever.
He's just like,
him
this is
coming
great.
over
We can
to
take it to the top.
him, and then him coming to Bradley Cooper, old news. He's like, she's going on tour without you.
Oh, like I forgot that he basically gets Bradley Cooper to commit
does.
suicide.
He
I forgot
does.
that part.
And then I'm looking at my manager like,
I forgot about that.
Yes.
That is a good manager.
I mean,
That
you
is a
didn't
good
think,
manager.
You didn't think that was like, that's so. Girl tells guy, I'm not gonna go on tour,
Yeah.
and then guy tells sad boyfriend, you're bringing her down.
I mean, it is a
For
good
sure.
manager. It's a good manager.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so
My manager would never convince like my girlfriend to commit suicide.
Ever.
She was
Hands
holding
off.
me back. Yeah. That's a good manager, but it is wild. He is just like,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna relapse. You might as well just do it now and commit suicide. That is kind of crazy.
Bradley was like, all right, well, guess I'll give my dog a steak and hang myself.
I still think he commits suicide. Everything happens too quickly in this movie.
It's very
Even
fast.
the suicide feels too quick. It's like he's like in a pretty good place. He's with his dog.
But it's the
The guy is like, "You're gonna
time.
bring her down." He's like, "All right, I'll kill myself."
But that was the intensity of his emotions.
He's very quick.
He was alcoholic for years.
Yeah.
Pills, ear problems,
Ear problem.
pain.
The ear problem that never got
Pain.
brought up in the movie before
I know.
the very end.
No, it did.
Did it?
Yes.
When?
Dude, he from the beginning, he had these headphones on. He was like,
Oh, I guess. Yeah, they don't really go into it that much.
it's.
They also throw in the suicide story at the very end, too, because I guess it would have been too much of a shock. Because I will say, when you're watching the beginning of this movie, you're not assuming one of them is going to commit
You're
suicide
not.
by the end.
You're not. You
It's
think
like,
it's gonna be like,
yeah,
oh,
a fun little.
you're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is kind of corny.
Yeah.
But those guys are funny. And then the further along it gets.
Wait, we'll get
Okay,
to the negative shit
I-
first. Let me just talk about the positive stuff.
Okay, yes.
Songs are amazing.
Should we give a long story short of what the movie is, just so people,
Sure,
in case
of
they haven't
course.
seen it?
Sure,
This is
yeah.
what happens.
Yes.
Lady Gaga.
Recap the story.
Waitress in Queens.
Yes.
She and then she sings at a drag bar. She
Which, by the
sings-
way, a lot of times these movies, you're like, there's someone that hot would be a waitress. But in this movie, you're like, there's no way someone that unattractive would be a famous musician. No, I'm joking. But obviously
Lady
she is.
Gaga?
Yeah.
Well,
but
yeah, they
she's
made her kind
clearly-
of look like
She's clearly like an
little more-
average-looking person.
little more average.
Yeah, which is great.
average, lives with her dad.
Yeah.
Who's a chauffeur in Queens.
Yeah.
And she's singing La Vie en Rose, Jackson, Maine.
At
Bradley
the drag
Cooper
at a drag bar.
is at the bar.
Yeah.
And he's all drunk. He's like, you're pretty good.
Yeah,
And she's like, I don't write my own songs. Or I don't play my own songs.
Yeah.
And she's like,
She does. This,
They never
do
said I
this
could-
400
Yeah.
times. Which is, I guess,
Yeah.
if she was Jewish, it would be such an anti-Semitic.
Right.
Because all they
Yeah.
do is talk about her nose.
I
But that's
know.
the thing. Italians also have big
They do,
noses.
yeah.
But only the Jews get that, like, it's like the big nose is like a negative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Italians laugh about it.
oh,
you
she's
know?
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, she got the big
Okay,
nose.
so then Bradley Cooper basically kind of love bombs her.
He love bombs her. He's very drunk.
Drunk.
They
She
have a wa-
sings. She's like, she punches a guy for trying to get an autograph from
Yeah,
Bradley
she
Cooper.
punches him. Once again, the punch seems. The guy wasn't
Well,
that.
so she's feisty.
He wasn't
She's
that
got
big of a
little-
dick, that guy.
She's got a little in her.
That guy was just like, hey, you look a lot like my friend.
He's
and
I'm
then
going to send this to my ex-wife. She loves you or something like that.
Yeah, and then she like punched him.
Well, so she got that
She's
fire
feisty.
in
She's
her.
got that fire in her.
So then she's in the parking
It's
lot.
fun. It's all fun, by the way. This whole part is very fun.
Very fun.
Very fun. Romantic. I
Very
would
fun.
say the first 20 minutes of this movie are great.
It's when
and then it just becomes a montage for the rest of the movie. It literally is like a story.
It does have big
and then it just
montage energy.
becomes A montage.
And then Dave Chappelle's in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, so long story short, Bradley Cooper's like, "Come on, door with me.
Come on, door.
We'll do the song." And then she's at the concert.
No, but hold on.
and
We
he's
got
doing
to go back to the part which is so stupid. It's so like, and I like a lot of the movie. It's well acted. It's improvised. The part that I just really, and I know it's a big Hollywood movie. I cannot get past this. They're in the parking lot.
Yes.
She hums 2 verses
Yes.
or sings 2
Yes, she's like-
verses, and apparently, like when you're a musician, you don't have an instrument. You just know the rhythm, right? Which is fine. And then the next day, he brings her on stage.
And he plays the song
perfectly.
and the whole band. I know.
How?
I think that's part of the magical aspect of it.
It took me
yeah,
out of
it's
it.
also kind of a musical. Okay.
No, but it took me because it is trying to be a little like
she's like, tell me something.
she's like nervous at first and then goes
Yeah.
and then just becomes
Yeah,
Lady
she's
Gaga.
like-
She's like, I can't do this.
like-
I'm nothing. How does like?
tired of trying to feel that?
But let's go through that moment.
I'm off the deep.
Let's go through that moment.
Okay.
She sings it. Like, what really happened? She sings him 2 verses, right? She's
Yes.
just like, I got this song. I've been
Yes.
just
And
futzing around with,
Yeah.
right? And by the way, this is a woman who is not really trying to become successful, right?
Right. Well, she kind of sabotages herself. She's like, no, I gotta take care of my dad.
Yeah. The moral of the story is just give
But she
up
loves
and
music.
hope like a famous musician.
Literally, or comedian.
This is maybe an issue I have with the movie. It really acts like hard work is not part of it. It acts like everything is just inspiration. It's just
Right.
like, even what he says to her, he never says like, you got to work hard. He's
Right.
just like, be true to yourself. It's like everyone's trying to be true to themselves.
right.
That's not the hard part. The hard part is like working at it.
Maybe it's hard to be true to yourself if you have a freak agent who's making you dye your hair orange.
That's true. But so she sings him 2 verses, and then the next
And he's
day,
like, and then what does he say? I think you're a
I
songwriter.
think you're a songwriter. And then the next day, he has a composition ready.
Yep, she goes to a show
knows-
at an arena.
He knows the whole song somehow. He never at any point is like, hey, maybe we should work on this.
No.
Like at no point is he like, I'm gonna do the song tomorrow. Maybe we should like
No,
try this.
his
a couple
driver
times.
shows up
No,
and
he
says,
wants to
"You're coming to the
He
show."
wants to just surprise her.
Right.
But
Right.
which is crazy. It's like if this is
It's magical.
if this is her
It's
one
magical.
if this is her one shot.
Yes.
Then like, what did he like? If I was her, I would be mad at him.
She
I'd
did
be
not
like,
miss her chance
hey,
to blow. This
hey.
opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
I would have been like, hey, could we have worked on it a little beforehand?
Yeah, well,
Since I'm
that's-
performing in front of.
That's what a fucking dude like that. Well, he's a little whirlwind. He's a little whirlwind,
All right, so he
isn't
just brings her on stage.
Yeah.
He has the whole
He
composition
sings it,
ready,
and then
they do it perfectly.
Perfectly.
I don't even know.
No
How
notes.
does he even know the whole song?
No notes.
She's
Yeah.
just like, I got the song.
Yeah.
Da 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 da.
Yeah.
And then the next night they fucking bang it
It's
out.
not that insane of a song. Obviously, it's not realistic.
I know, but the message is kind of like you don't need to practice anything. You just need to speak from the heart.
That's how some people do stand up.
So that's
They'll
true.
go up there and be like, I'm just going to talk.
And then they actually do
I'm just
become
going to sing shallow.
They actually do become successful. So
Yeah,
never
so-
mind. So someone films it on YouTube. Now this is the part that is realistic.
Yes.
Though I don't even know if it was as realistic back then as it is. It became more and
No,
more.
yeah.
But like someone films it, and she's
It
like
goes
a
crazy on
legend
YouTube.
in a week. Yeah.
Well, not yet. Because.
No, I guess you're right.
Not yet. Not yet.
But she gets popular.
It gets. And she goes to her job and her boss tried. Or no.
No, she was a job.
He comes to her house, I think. Or
well,
how
their
does-
first. Okay, and this is what's also frustrating about the movie is that like. This movie is like saying like you don't get rewarded for ambition because she didn't really care about any of it. Basically, she actually was going to go to work that night. The only reason
I
she
know.
goes there is because the boss is kind of
like,
rude for
and
her.
she's like, oh, fuck you.
You know, which is crazy. If the boss didn't say you're late,
Right.
she would still be a
I know.
waitress there.
Well, I think the whole thing. I think the whole thing is that she's not as in love with the whole thing. She loves this guy.
Right.
She loves this her
right.
husband more than anything in the world.
But doesn't she also like music?
She does, but this whole connection,
Yes,
especially
yes.
a young lady who lives with her dad.
Right.
This is nuts. You can't imagine being like.
Also, why does she live with her dad? Is she retarded? Like, why does she live with her dad?
She probably grew up in Queens and now works at a fucking.
Yeah, but she can't like.
I think she's supposed to be like 25 or 26
Oh,
in
is she?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
maybe
all right.
28.
So they do the song. They do the music.
I know millions of people in New York City who still
true.
live with their parents.
That's true.
Raanan.
So they do the show. They do the show, and now he takes her on the road.
Yeah.
He takes her on the road,
Yeah.
and he gives her advice.
Dream gig.
Dream gig.
Yes.
He takes her on the road.
Pays her $400 a show. Classic.
I would be scared being on the road with him because I feel like she'd be like, I have this line from a song, and then the next night he'd be like, "Come out right now, we're gonna do it." Like, I'd be just worried the whole time.
Well, he did keep doing that.
Oh, he
right?
does,
'Cause
yeah.
And she's like, oh, he's like, you're gonna play your song now. That Arizona sky.
Oh, she does perfectly.
Yeah, burning in the night.
They should have had a scene where she's like, "Can you let me know?" This is-
I can
in
do
front
it.
of thousands
I
of
need
people.
A day.
Yeah.
I need a day.
But yeah, that Arizona Sky song, by the way, is amazing.
Fire.
And I forgot that song.
Did you cry at all? Oh.
I don't really cry, but like it's a great song, beautiful.
When it all shows up and I can't find the words.
And then it's all about her like wishing she could remember this great time, which I feel like we've been with them too for like still like a day.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like we've been with them for like a day.
The montage
And she's like,
continues.
I'll never feel like it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
literally. I will say this about the movie.
That part.
The movie is 20 minutes of something entertaining and
Yes.
interesting,
Right.
and then it does literally become a montage.
Okay, so then let's talk about the next part.
Yeah.
Because I'll fucking defend that too.
So she sings. Yeah, you're supposed to defend. We're
They
supposed to have an
I am.
argument.
I've been defending every minute. I'm like,
you're
you know how many
accepting.
people live with their parents? You said she was retarded. So
So-
then it's like montage. Then it's like up, 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 up. Ooh, motorcycle,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah.
Motorcycle music, and he's
Yeah.
and he's pretty much drunk all the time.
He's drunk all the time, and then after that, always remember us this way. That's when the agent comes in.
Oh, right, the
and
agent.
that's when we start to kind of see Jackson Maine's negative.
Right, which is
Because-
it's an interesting part of the movie because the movie has a very laid back vibe. It's also very improvised. The movie, you can
Yeah.
tell like a lot of the dialogue is very improvised,
Right.
Because like she'll like mess up and then that'll be part of the movie.
Yeah.
She'll be like dinner. I mean lunch. What am I talking about? It's all very improvised.
It's all fine. Yeah.
But it's funny that in that loose thing, they still do the most formulaic thing of all time,
Yeah.
which is, "Hi, I just want to say I loved your sound."
Yeah, I know.
He's just
Like
there.
she's walking onto the bus, and
Yeah.
he's like, Ali,
Ali,
Ali.
I love your
was
sound.
So good. Your sound is so pure.
I just have
She's like,
one
"Oh,
thought. If you could
thanks."
maybe just destroy your soul, you could
Yeah,
be really
right.
big.
And so that night,
And
they're all
then
in-
Bradley
they're-
Cooper's upset when he sees
They're
that.
in the hotel.
Yeah.
He's got a little toxic. He's a little toxic.
He's a little toxic. It's a weird thing because he's jealous, but he's also like, I don't want you to lose
Also
what's
real.
great about you.
Also
You know what
real.
I mean? Yeah.
So he's taunting her.
But he's also
But
a
we can
huge
s-
alcoholic, so you really shouldn't be getting
So
any
you shouldn't
advice
at
from
all.
him.
Well, the first night they fuck, he was too drunk to fuck at first.
Right.
And his brother, Sam Elliott, had to come in and blah, blah, blah.
Finger her?
Oh,
Get her wet? What?
Oh, I was just saying his mustache.
Oh, yeah.
He put him to bed, and he was like, just so you know.
Yeah. By the way, Sam Elliott
That's the most
cries
sparkle I saw in
every
his eyes tonight.
Sam Elliott cries in every scene
Every
of this
movie.
movie.
He's
I'm
like-
like, he's just crying the entire time.
You
That-
took my act.
That is the manliest man
Yes,
crying.
I know.
Not since Sean Penn and Mystic River have I seen a manlier
That's crazy.
man
I just
cry.
watched that 2 weeks ago.
That's great.
I
right?
know.
Is that my daughter?
Yeah,
in
all the
there?
cops around him, 20 cops around
Yeah,
him.
it is your daughter.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck
She's-
up.
yeah.
Calm down.
It's over, dude.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah. They don't
Yeah.
cut to the Kevin Bacon be like, "Yep, it is."
Yeah.
Like they don't.
Yeah. I don't know what you were saying.
I guess she's not really asking to ask. She's just having a moment.
Right,
But,
right.
So
Right, it was a moment.
It'd be so funny if after that moment they're like, "Oh no, that's not your daughter."
Yeah.
Just yelled and
He's
had to
like,
be held
"Oh."
back by the cops.
They're like, she's at the holding cell.
yeah, sorry, that
She
wasn't
got
your
into some
daughter.
trouble.
Oh shit, I
Oh.
really went off there. But anyway,
Sorry.
So
I didn't get a lot of sleep.
all right. So he comes between them, and he starts telling her to do stuff that's gonna destroy her, right?
Who, the agent?
The agent.
Well, yeah, and this is the first time we kind of see Jackson's got a sour side.
He's jealous.
He's like, you got a big agent.
Yeah.
But you can see, because she's got that fire in her,
Right.
she's like, what are you going to do?
Right.
AKA, that tells us he's kind of probably did this to her before.
Right.
You know, 'cause She
Right.
just puts a donut in his face.
Right. They have like a
Jack, you jealous?
It's like a improvised fight where
Yeah.
it's like they're trying to avoid the cliches
Yes.
in the movie by like just having an improvised feel. So it's like an issue. He puts it, but it's very laughy.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
jealous.
But you
And
can see that because that's a little foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Him getting drunk and being mean.
Also, another foreshadowing. In the first scene of her, when he drives to meet her, there's a bunch of nooses on a sign behind him.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's like, make a rat there. So
Yeah.
it's like, once he meets her, that's the death of him.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of like nooses on
He
the
would have
sign.
gone in some way anyway.
Yeah, for sure. But so the agent comes in, and this is the part where, once again, the movie is so focused. You ever see Whiplash?
Yes.
So Whiplash is the opposite of most music movies, and I think it goes too far the other way. Whiplash is all about the work you put in.
Yes, it is.
It's all
Yeah.
about just working.
And the abuse.
And the abuse. But there's not much of the heart. It's just all the work. Most music movies are like this, where it has nothing to do with work.
It's more about-
just come to your head.
It's all outcomes.
And you just have to be true to yourself.
They don't show any.
But
But
it's
the only time they showed it was when they were at a diner and she was like, I'm writing this new one.
Yeah, but there's at no point
I'm
are they ever
alone in
like,
my house.
fuck, what's the word? I can't think of.
No,
like,
they
at no
don't show
point is
that.
there a struggle.
They don't show that.
They don't show any
They don't.
work.
They never show that.
They
in
act.
movies.
It's kind of. I mean, whatever. But it is bullshit. Like the message of these movies is like the challenge of an artist is to be true to yourself. That's not really the ultimate. Like. There's also discipline. I mean, that is
There
part of
is.
it.
They
You should be
never
true to
show the
yourself,
discipline in any
but
art
I think
movies.
discipline is hard. I think most people are trying to be true to themselves.
They don't say that in athlete movies.
Yeah,
They show
the discipline. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I wish there was a little more discipline
Rocky,
in this.
you gotta be yourself in the ring.
Yeah. Just be true to yourself.
I just don't know that guy.
Be true to yourself. That's all that
It
matters.
feels fraudy.
But yeah, so it's like yeah. So he's just like so she changes her. Then Bradley Cooper's like, your hair. You should change your hair back. He sounds like Billy Bob Thornton from
Well,
Swing Blade.
yeah.
Change your hair. You got to be true to yourself and your hair. You know what I mean?
Daters. Well, she says you gotta cut the shit because he ends up in because she does a dance at some iHeartRadio event.
Yeah.
That's where we first see her like kind of different.
Yeah,
And
that-
she gets off stage and he's like, you didn't use the dances. And she's
Right.
like, where's my husband?
Yeah.
And Jack is not there because he gets hammered and wakes up at Dave Chappelle's house.
Right. Yeah.
And that's where he
Funny if
proposes
that
to
really
her.
is just Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, he's like,
Is that supposed to be a musician?
I thought it was just maybe an old friend from.
I guess I assume it was like an old.
Oh, I
black
guess he had
blues
guitars,
musician.
right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it was an
so,
old
yeah.
musician. It is funny. He just wakes up at Dave Chappelle's.
Yeah, and
well, it's a weird thing because Dave Chappelle on that SNL stand-up bit was like, I was at the White House once. There was every black person in the world and Bradley Cooper for some reason. So I think like Bradley Cooper is just like, but like
That's funny.
But that's the part of the show where like I'm the movie where I'm like. I'm unclear what her music style is because
Right.
her initially it's kind of like a rock thing,
Initially, it's.
and then she has the
Cool.
dumbest song about jeans.
I know.
Did she write that?
No. Actually, in real life, yes. In real
did?
life, Lady Gaga did.
But
She
was
wrote-
that-
But I think it's the agent, the team putting her together in a little box.
I guess they never show that part though, like because she's like kind of writing her songs,
Yeah.
and then all out of nowhere she's just like, "My jeans look good
I
on me,"
know.
and it's like, did the agent be like, "I need you to write a song about jeans"?
He probably put her together with a producer.
Yeah.
Like a Taylor Swift kind of that one person who writes all these girls' things.
But why didn't she just keep writing her own songs? Wasn't her own songs good?
I guess they were like, she's a really good singer and we're going to turn her into a pop star. And
Hmm.
she's so like unexperienced. She's like, I'll do whatever you want me to.
Okay,
Like she's like a little pushover
right. I guess
because she sees it all as like, this is cool. Is
I
this
guess
cool
I
or no?
I guess I feel like I do know they make those shallow songs.
She doesn't even see like not liking those songs as a thing because she's like, this is so cool.
Right, she has no.
Yeah.
She doesn't care at all. She
Yeah.
has no.
Yeah.
Talent and intelligence or integrity have
Not-
no connection whatsoever.
She has talent.
She has
I
talent, but
think
nothing
she has
else.
No like,
she has no integrity,
like-
no discipline,
right.
no ability to make choices.
I think she just goes with what they tell her because she got plucked out.
But it doesn't really make sense
Industry plant a little.
because her songs are so great and fully formed right away.
Yeah.
There's no way an agent wouldn't be just like, well, these songs will probably be hits. Like there's no way the agent would look at Shallow and just be like, oh, we should change this. Like they would just be like, write 10 songs. These are hits.
I know.
It's not like the other shit she's doing is like
it's a little heavy-handed. Like the industry part is heavy-handed.
Here's the thing.
Sure.
I don't know how the music industry works, but it doesn't feel realistic on any level.
I don't know how it works either.
But it doesn't feel right.
But
it doesn't feel like she would write all these hits and the guy was like, no, let's get her instead of this.
Right.
No one's going to listen to Shallow, even though it's clearly a hit. Let's have her sing about jeans.
maybe he's like, I want a little pet project. I want to turn this girl into a different version.
It just doesn't seem like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I feel like a character to be that talented to create those kind of songs would have some ability to distinguish. Like she wrote Shallow, but then she's like, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. It just doesn't ring true.
I think she doesn't know what to even listen to.
So
she doesn't even know.
Mentally handicapped. But she just wrote these great, and she wrote that Arizona song, which is incredible.
Yeah, but maybe that's more like, I can't believe people like this. She's still low confident, She's still. So
she has no opinions on music. She can write amazing songs, but has no.
How about this? I always think I'm good at stand up, and then my manager says something fucking weird, and you're like, damn. He's like, why don't you do something like this?
Right, then you do something.
So they do it. I'm on a way lower level than that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess I just would like a little more. I don't really fully get where they're
I wish
coming
they
from.
went different.
It also goes so quickly.
Pop star. Like they could have even done like a light Taylor Swift, and just zhuzhed her up in that way. Well, and put more pop under her kind of songs instead of that whole transformation.
They could have made it a little more nuanced. Yeah. Like made it Shallow in a more nuanced way.
Like less acoustic, more shit
not just like being like, just talk about jeans.
Yeah, I know. That song was so bad.
But it's like it didn't make sense that she would go in that direction. It just didn't. Right. It didn't feel right.
Right.
And then it's like so obvious what Bradley Cooper. Like, does she really need Bradley Cooper to be like, don't sing about jeans? Look, I've been in this career a long time, and I'm here to tell you.
Yeah, because she's a dumbass.
These great songs you wrote are better than a song about jeans.
Well, he could have said that if he was good at communicating in a straightforward way.
Or you could hear what he said. She's probably like, he's telling me to keep doing it. She can't hear him.
Yeah, she can't understand him. And he probably can't speak up unless he's hammered. And when he's hammered, he's either really nice or mean as fuck.
Right.
AKA when they got in a fight and she was in the bathtub.
The bathtub scene, which is clearly improvised.
Which is after SNL. Because she goes on SNL.
Right. She goes on SNL on the third.
Where he's supposed to be not drinking.
On the third day of her.
Yeah, on the third day of her career. So she's rising. She goes on SNL
to do the Gene song,
and Bradley Cooper's Sam Elliott's backstage. Bradley Cooper's like, "Come back on tour with us," and Sam Elliott's like, "You're too much.
You're too much."
So then he drinks, and that night
by the way, he always drinks. They try to make that look like a moment. But he's drinking the whole time.
But after the Chappelle and them getting married, she was like, "This can't ever happen again.
Oh, did he quit drinking?
If you drink again, I'm done with you."
I guess I assume he talks like that because he's drunk.
Right.
No, so that was him drinking again.
So he cracks a beer in the back of, and then that escalates into him coming in while she's in the bathtub, and
he calls her ugly, which is a hard thing to come back from.
She's like, I'll be your dad. I'll be your drinking buddy.
It's so clearly like improvised
he's
language.
Like, my dad is more talented.
Fuck you, pinky
and
she's like, get out.
And he's like, you're ugly. Yeah. What?
That's a hard thing to come back from.
Yeah, it is.
Apparently, he didn't let her know he was going to say that.
Really?
Yeah, he just called her ugly. Yeah. You're ugly.
When they said the first time I saw it, I was like,
that's a hard thing to come back from.
You cannot call your girlfriend ugly.
Yeah, if you call whatever. If Bigfoot 3 or
if my lover,
if your lover called you ugly, what would you?
Don't ever speak to me again.
Right?
Like 10 years later, I'd still replay it.
I mean, I had my girlfriend call me ugly because that's the only way I can come. But like,
yeah, right. For guys, it's different. You like it.
But like.
That was like...
That's a hard thing to come back from ugly. And Bradley Cooper's pretty good looking, so that even makes it even worse.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
He is right, though.
Raanan! Okay, so then they get into that. But
I just want to go back for a second, a little, to say, like, I guess there's just part of me that you're right. If there was a little more nuance to, like, what... the movie fails to show any processes.
Yes.
They fail to show the process
Yeah.
of like having an agent redefine
Right.
her. It fails to show the process of writing a song.
Right.
It just shows like, I'm like, it would be nice to see some of these. It would be nice to just
Could be
see
like a couple little things of maybe a back and forth with her agent.
Yeah.
About, I like this song. What?
And I think the reason they don't show the process is because it wouldn't.
They don't want you to know. No, I'm
Well,
kidding.
it also just wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense for him to be like, I want you to sing a song about jeans.
Mm-hmm.
These other songs that are clearly giant hits that are also beautiful, they're not going to work.
Right.
Like I want, it wouldn't make sense. She'd be like, no, I think "Shallow" is going to be a hit. Like, and then
Maybe that happened to Lady Gaga. I mean, she came out all cuckoo banini and
show the process.
Right.
And then like, because obviously she could have played what she wanted on SNL, and she chose jeans over like some of the most beautiful songs I've heard in a
when
while.
she tried to not use the dancers at the iHeart Nation, iHeart Radio, iHeart Live Nation,
Right.
I Love New York show, he was like, "You do what I say."
Right, but to me, it's more than just the dancers. To me,
Yeah.
like she's like, I didn't want to use it's more about singing about like skinny jeans. Like that's
But that's the beginning of him holding her.
I get it. I guess it's just, you know what it is.
So she's got her agent telling her one thing,
It's
and
just
her
very
husband calling her
obvious.
ugly.
It's
Yeah.
very obvious
Yeah.
when it could have been a little more.
I know, yeah.
unique, you know
They
what I
could have
mean?
like just yassified her.
I do think that not showing of processes is a thing that hurts
Yeah,
this movie a little.
yeah.
It's acted
Agreed,
well. It's
yeah.
natural. The characters are charismatic. You just don't really know the details of that world.
You don't. I guess it's more about how these two interact.
So she's in the bath. He calls her ugly.
And then the climax of the movie.
No.
is-
Wait, he comes back to her. He
And she's like,
gets sober for the 12th time.
Yes, he does. Yeah, and he shows up at her studio
He shows up at a studio. And why does he relapse again? He has to relapse another time.
because
She wins a Grammy.
they go to the Grammys.
And she
So
wins.
he has to perform at the Grammys.
On the fourth
And so
day of
it
her
seems like every
career,
time he performs,
on the fourth day of her career, she wins a Grammy.
and on the seventh day he killed himself.
It really does feel like an SNL sketch.
It does. Whatever, I'll watch
On
over
the
it.
fourth Grammy, so she wins a Grammy.
No, listen to this.
Yeah.
He also has to play at the. And so I think a lot of his drug use and
Roy
drug
Orbison.
and drinking is because his ear pain
Right.
and he's all fucked up. And so they demote him.
Right. They
He's
want him to
I
just
was
play
supposed
the
to
guitar.
be the lead for Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
They put some young gun.
Yeah.
Basically, the whole movie is about Jackson Maine being like,
The young
I'm
guy's
old.
very good, by the way.
He is good.
I'm like, I think that would be better than
Yeah.
Tater tots.
Yeah, I know. The new guy was fire. Taters.
But so he's
And so
drunk.
he's
He
drunk,
plays.
and you almost think he's not gonna.
Yeah.
He's like,
But of course, this is a movie where
Bow, bow, bow,
nothing
bow,
takes hard work.
bow.
This is a movie where nothing takes hard work, so he
Right.
still plays perfectly.
Plays perfect.
'Cause, like,
well, you should. It's like a 4-note thing.
Yeah.
He's been playing guitar for eons.
That's true. He's
And
so
people are
wildly
saying,
drunk, though.
yeah, he drops the pick. He's
He
like,
drops a pick, but then he plays perfectly.
bow, 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 bow.
then what happened? Oh, then he, like-
Song's so straight, but he's still pummeling.
drinking.
So what happens? He
goes to the
She
Grammys.
wins New Artist of the Year.
And the woman's like, oh, thank God. Like, she's already
It's
like,
Allie.
knows everyone.
It's Allie. Yeah.
She's been around for 4 days.
Allie.
They're like, finally.
Obviously,
Finally,
it's Allie.
Allie's won a Grammy. It's already been 4 days. When is she going to win a Grammy? The way she says
Allie
it's Allie
Nation.
makes
Yeah.
it look like she's
She was
been
like,
famous for like 10 years.
I know.
Allie. So Allie gets up there.
And Allie probably had a massive leg up because her husband. So it was all sorts
Yeah.
of stuff.
This is the part This is another part I have trouble with. She gets up there.
This part is insane.
This part's insane.
It's insane. So
But if I was her, I would have wrapped that speech up when she saw him. Like,
Me too.
Because he's like,
I know.
He's like, where the fuck am I?
Okay.
And she's like, I want to thank my producer, my
And
agent.
he's like,
I'm
he's sitting
bitch,
on,
wrap it up.
he's sitting on the stage. Did you win?
It's so funny. Did you? That part's hilarious.
So then
she's like, did you win? But like, I'm like,
She doesn't know. She's
bitch,
so
wrap
stupid.
it up.
She's so stupid.
All she had to do was be like, thank you all.
Well, he comes on,
And she's like thanking
and
her,
he's like
like-
leaning on her. She's like, "Oh, my baby,"
My baby.
and she's like, "I want to thank MGM. I want to," and then what happens?
He pees himself.
Yeah,
He pees himself in front of.
it's shocking, isn't it?
Which he talks about.
Were you shocked?
Yeah, it is crazy. He talks about how he felt bad embarrassing her. I was like, you should feel bad about embarrassing yourself. You peed
I know.
in front of
I know.
millions of people.
I know.
It's actually kind of the craziest thing ever. Has anyone ever peed themselves in front of that
I
many
don't think
people?
so.
Because that's live.
It's actually shocking.
They actually don't. That's another thing they avoid in it.
Yeah.
The fact that he would have been like such a like punchline in like every
Yeah, they
like
don't
online.
show-
They don't
I
show the
know.
online.
Yeah,
like
I know.
no one is that's like the Chris Rock slap times 1,000.
But
Like
guess what? We get to see what happens
You're right,
Just
you're right.
them.
Just them.
We know what happens online.
So he pees
He's getting his
himself-
ass ate
He's getting his
up
ass
there.
ate.
That Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, yeah.
They should have shown a montage of Kimmel
Yeah, I
being
know.
like, well, she didn't piss in my pants. What am I, Jackson, Maine?
So he pees himself.
And it's tragic. And then it's chaos.
It's chaos.
Chaos. Dice Clay's throwing him in the shower.
He's like, what the fuck do you do on my daughter's
Yeah.
big night?
Yeah.
You know. If I was
I'm gonna
like,
cry right now.
No, if I was Bradley Cooper, I'd be like, motherfucker, she don't want to hear it because they remember this. So she comes in. They get in the shower together.
Yes.
She doesn't even care that he did that.
No, she's like,
She doesn't care about.
loves him
She
so
loves
much.
him and doesn't care about
More than
her.
anything.
And for one, and this, I guess, part of me not having trouble relating to her, maybe, but she just doesn't care about her career. Really,
She likes the guy.
Yeah, she's like, I love you,
Dude, I'm telling you, have you ever been with a dude who fucking love bombs you like that?
Yeah.
Rest of your life.
Yeah,
I love this.
you don't
man.
get mad at all that he peed at the grave.
You're like, it's okay. She's literally like, it's okay. I want to be with you.
Meanwhile, every female artist I've ever met would have like killed the guy if he did that.
Oh yeah, I know.
you would have taken Sasquatch and like had him put a hit on him, you know. But
But she was obsessed with him.
she was obsessed.
So he
So
goes
they're
to
in the shower
rehab.
together. He's
Gets
like,
sober
they go to
again.
rehab. I'm always jealous of rehab in the movie because it's
I
so
know.
easy.
It
'cause
looks
it's just,
so
They
nice.
just cut to it.
I
and
know.
they're good.
They don't show like the beginning. Like,
Yeah. So he has his weird
He's
AA
swimming.
meeting in an airplane
swimming.
hangar or wherever they are.
yeah,
and
he gets in trouble.
He's
for
swimming.
being late.
Swimming seems nice.
He has a one-on-one where he says when he tried to kill himself once when he
like,
was 11 years old.
He mispronounces tinnitus,
tried
and then the
to
guy,
put on this-
like he's like tinnitus.
Yeah.
You can tell it's improv because it's just people correcting each
I know
other.
the whole movie.
The whole movie,
Yeah.
because she does that a couple times. She's like, "Eat your lunch, dinner." I don't even know what time it is.
Right.
Like she clearly just, but
Great recovery.
she does another one in the bath too. I forget what it was. She's like, "I'm taking a shower. I'm in a bath." Or she fucks up somehow. So all right, so he recovers.
Yeah, because he makes her nervous.
Yeah, he recovers.
He's
sober
swimming.
now. He still seems drunk. I thought it'd be funny if after he's recovered, he's just like, "Hey, how's it going? How are you?"
Yeah.
But he's still like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm drunk." And he,
I think you're a songwriter.
I'm just sorry for every.
think you're a songwriter.
And is she still hacking it up, or is she doing like authentic music? Is she still?
I think him doing that, maybe she's chilling at his house.
She's chilling at his house.
The
She doesn't
piano.
care. Yeah.
She found a song he wrote. She's playing on the
Yeah,
piano.
he wrote a song in the middle of his. Once again, he wrote like the most perfect song
Perfect
ever
song.
in the middle of his like
Yeah.
height of his addiction. I just wrote it down on a piece of paper.
He does have a cool house though.
He has a cool house.
Cool house.
The song he writes it, and he's like, maybe you can play it, and
Yeah.
I think even though I wrote it about you, after I commit suicide, it'll have some resonating factor.
You'll be able to perform
Yeah.
it from her.
So-
long as they're at the rehab and she's like, I miss you.
She's like, I miss you.
home.
Come home.
Come home.
You know, but she's worried.
The
too.
dog misses daddy.
Yeah, the dog misses daddy.
Yeah.
He comes home, and they're doing well. They have
They're
like
doing well.
they
He's
have
playing
like,
football with the
They have
dog.
like a couple good moments
Yeah.
before he decides to kill himself very quickly.
A couple good moments.
He's like with the dog.
They're
they play the song.
lounging, playing the song.
It's like really nice.
It is,
And then then she cancels the tour and she lies. She tells him like she canceled
Yeah.
it because and then the manager comes in and is like, "You're gonna relapse again."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, I guess I'll just kill myself."
And then she's at another show, a stadium show.
Don't you think it's a
and
li-
she's like, "Give it up for my husband,
yeah.
Jack."
Does she think he's there?
Yeah. And then she gets off
Do you think
stage.
he was
Where is
dying
he?
in that very moment? You
Yes.
think like as you said that he
Yes.
like so he hangs himself. Which I mean,
He takes a bunch of pills first
oh right,
because he
takes a bunch
steps out of the van or
of-
the
takes a bunch
truck.
of
His
right.
his cowboy boot.
and he hangs himself.
He's like
I
on
mean,
his heels.
I guess I kind of still felt like the suicide was like a little like forced. I don't know. It's just like I'm like,
It's like the movie's quick.
yeah, it's just
So,
quick. Everything's so quick.
Yeah.
He's like with his dog that day. He's like having a great day.
That's how they say suicide goes. Someone will be having the best day of their lives and then call it quits.
But like, just because the manager just said that, and then I guess
Honestly,
I guess he don't want to ruin her.
yeah, he didn't want to ruin her life.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's so. I mean, imagine pissing at the Grammys.
So could he?
I
just-
would not be able to get away from that
couldn't he
shame.
just leave?
I have shame.
Could he just leave the relationship?
She's obsessed with him.
No, I know.
Imagine pissing at the Grammys. I would kill myself the minute, like the day after. I'm surprised he didn't do
But
it
you're
yet.
right, though. It is all just a little quick. Everything
Yeah.
feels so rushed in
Yeah.
this, you
Yeah.
know. And
Well, maybe it's just to show how quickly someone can escalate.
that's true.
And how out
that's
of control,
true.
maybe.
Or it's just not that.
Maybe it
developed.
happens. Shut up!
So then he kills himself.
Yeah.
Probably pisses himself again. When he kills himself.
She's like,
they should
again?
show that.
Yeah, they should. He kills himself. She throws his paintings everywhere. She throws all his big festival
she
print,
breaks
like, these kind of
them.
things. And
she has a final scene with
his
Sam
brother's
Elliott.
like, it's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
He was
It's
always going
Jack's
to
fault,
be like
which
this.
is a little cold.
But I mean,
I guess it's true.
He is a Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, it's
the
not your
whole
fault.
movie is about him being drunk or not.
And then she sings that song, which is beautiful.
She's like, "This is my husband."
Incredible
Jack.
song.
And then at the end, when it cuts to them playing it on the piano.
Yeah. So what is the movie about?
When we first met, I never thought that I would fall.
It's a great song.
I know.
Of course, she has no idea that it's great. She's like, "This is just as good as my James song."
This is just what Agent told me to do.
So, and that's the movie, and it's a beautiful song, some great acting. Mm-hmm. There is, and like, maybe I'm just being a bit of a sore,
it's okay,
cunter here, but like
the point of the podcast.
Well, no, I don't want to make up shit, but these are issues. I just feel like it could have been better if they actually had some nuance, showed the process.
Yeah.
I just think you could relate to them more. You know what I mean?
think so too.
I think it's kind of hard to relate to this woman who. They basically make her not really care about her musical career at all, which is just like, she probably cares a little.
No, she definitely cares. I think she's just trying to balance both. But she loves her husband too much.
She loves her husband too much. It's codependent.
Passes.
Yeah. And that's interesting. And he has some wisdom to her. I guess I just think like, I think it really comes down. It comes down to the opening is great, but it comes down to that thing where she hums a song and it's just perfectly done the next day. It's just like, what kind of world is this where like you don't actually work on something?
You ever pitch me a bit? I'll make a sketch the next day. Raanan, come over. Hey, it's your bit.
But it doesn't even make. He didn't even hear the whole song.
I know.
She'd be like, "You're a psychic."
And he was hammered.
But it's like, I guess. I don't know. To me, it's like the whole movie's like follow your heart, but you also need to do some work.
You do.
It's not just the heart. And I'd say the work is harder than the heart.
The work is really hard.
The work is hard.
But
I mean, I know it's a hard thing to show. It's easier to show someone just being like
dancing in the studio.
Yeah.
Step 2, 3.
Even that she seemed to already know perfectly.
Yeah, they only showed us
Even that she suddenly acted like she was like born at the Mickey Mouse Club. She was just like dancing. I'm like, where did this stuff come from?
Maybe she danced growing up.
And she also never tried to make it. Or maybe she tried, but she had given up. That's the other thing. She had given up. She doesn't really deserve any of this because she had given up.
She didn't even ask for any of it. The guy forced her to go to her show.
I guess you're right.
The driver was waiting.
I guess you're right.
She's just like, okay.
I was just writing songs for no reason.
And he's her only person that she knows in all this.
Right.
And he's in a different mood every day.
Would she have been okay being a waitress?
Maybe, yeah, if she never knew, probably.
She just needed that guy to be like, you're a songwriter. You don't even know it.
She probably never was in any sort of fun relationship.
She needed a man to tell her what to do.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. And then he fucking offed himself.
And maybe that's another problem with the movie, that it's kind of him, like, telling her what, like, she doesn't seem to have much agency.
No, she doesn't.
At all. And that's something that is hard to relate to. Like, she's kind of just thrown, like,
I kind of do relate to it.
The lack of agency?
Yeah, I kind of. I oftentimes like, oh, okay, sound good.
Well, that's where we get to the final part of the segment, which is, what does this movie say about you?
Oh my god!
Which is an interesting part because I know you love this movie, and I remember we were at Thanksgiving and you were singing it on the stairs, and you collapsed.
I did,
which is kind of a nice homage to the movie.
Yeah,
you didn't pee yourself, but you did go downstairs.
Thank God.
So I get like you probably relate to the blacking out.
I relate to her more than him.
Yeah.
But I relate to a woman dating a man who seemingly is awesome and then is really mean. Actually really mean. And different moods and
that's what you're like.
Kind of not knowing where you go. Everyone's telling you something to do, and in the arts, you know.
Do you feel artistically like you're being pushed around by different?
Sometimes, yeah. Or even just like getting on Wild and Out,
right?
And go with that, and then okay, I'll go wherever you send me.
Is Wild and Out your Gene song?
Exactly. Why did you do that to me?
Your manager's like, you need more freestyle rapping with black people.
Dude, honestly, sometimes they be giving me ideas. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
You say that?
in my head. Not out loud. Just hope they forget about it. You know?
need a Bradley Cooper to be like,
I know.
You got to be true to yourself.
I'm like, so I can't act black?
Don't change your hair. Have you changed your hair?
No.
Well, that's his main advice is to not change your hair. His main advice is like, look, I've been in a music career for a long time,
but
keep your natural hair color.
Always had this.
If you change your hair, that's a real symbol that you're not being true to yourself.
Yeah, it's just like fake.
So, but you kept your hair, and that's not easy to do. You have red hair, which is somewhat of a frowned upon culturally,
right?
And
I know, I'm such an outcast.
And but yeah, so you relate to her.
I also play the piano. So
do you?
Yeah. So
you play the piano,
performing and stuff.
I didn't know you play the piano.
I do. Yeah.
I'm learning something about you.
I grew up playing it. I actually almost kind of minored in it in college.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have you played the piano on Wild and Out?
No.
Do they allow that? Or?
Yeah, they would. There's a guy who plays guitar. And there is a piano, I think.
Well, maybe you should bring it up. You know,
that new girl on SNL.
You know what?
With the piano.
I think you might be a pianist. You don't even know it.
I don't play.
I think you should just bring that piano. Can I be your Bradley Cooper?
I don't play my own songs.
Can I give you?
Yeah, you can. Here, roll down the window on your car.
No, man. I think let me hear one of the piano. Let me hear one of those piano melodies.
I just want to get another look at you.
I just want to get another look at you.
He thought he was going to win an Oscar for that.
Their inside joke is just that she has a big nose.
Yeah.
Let's just keep on doing that.
Yeah, I know.
That's just like
she did it at the end too. The last time she saw him before.
It's like if I was in a rom-com and I just kept on doing this like with my gut. I just want to know, yeah.
Hilarious.
But yeah, no, I think you know how to play piano. You should. Listen. You need a man to tell you.
Stop.
You need a man who pees his pants to give you advice.
Stop! I don't do my own songs.
No, but I like the movie. Even though I have some issues with it, I do. The music is just incredible.
And I also thought it's always fun. I like any sort of musician stuff. I like the idea of being a musician. Seems so cool.
What is he? He's like a country singer, but he seems to branch out into.
I guess he's kind of. I kind of thought of him as like a kind of rock
I know,
country.
But then he has some like real country songs.
I know.
That are great.
I know.
The one song that Jason Isbell wrote, which I love.
Which one?
Maybe it's time to change my ways.
That one?
Yeah, but then another song sound like something like some of the other songs sound like weird rock
like
songs.
The opener is like yeah. And
it's like musically it's just so different. There's not even like a country like core to it. It's just like
I think it's more rocky.
It's very rocky. Yeah. It's like but and then I guess the song he wrote for her is just like kind of like an R&B song, or maybe it was different.
Ballad.
Yeah. I guess it's more R&B when she sings it.
This is crazy.
She is incredible.
You're doing great.
You're doing great. Just be true to yourself.
I'm gonna kill myself in
Never
here.
practice.
Yeah.
Never practice.
Just show up.
Just show up without knowing, and you'll do it perfectly.
Just show up.
But yeah, no. I mean, the song. What's your favorite song?
I like I don't know what love is.
Wait, what song is that?
If I can't have you here. They play it at the wedding when she gets married to him at Chappelle.
Oh,
I don't know what love is.
That's good.
And then the other one is I'm alone in my house.
Wait, isn't that a Gene song?
No. That's what did you do that? She's like, why do you look so good in those jeans? Why'd you come around me with an ass like that? And then
I like the
what song do you like?
I mean, I love the Arizona song. Play that.
Me
sing
too.
That song.
So good.
Sing that song.
And then the duet with the music to my eyes because she's in there too.
Sing the Arizona song.
That Arizona sky burning in your eyes. You look at me and babe, I wanna catch on fire. And then the middle. So when it's all choked up and I can't find.
She gets so emotional.
I know.
She's so great. And then every time he plays, he's just like,
I know. Yeah.
But meanwhile, she's like,
I know,
she's like emoting.
Yeah,
and he's
she's
just
in
like,
it. Yeah,
maybe it's trying to change my way.
Not even there.
maybe it's trying to change my way.
She's
like watching her at the end, the camera just on her. It's just so incredible.
I know.
She really is great. And apparently you had heard of her before the movie?
Yeah, so obviously, like, huge Lady Gaga fan. I saw her at House of Yes in Brooklyn. Yeah.
But well, I mean, Anything else you want to say about the movie? I
No,
feel like we had
I think it's a fun watch. It's a good one. If
It
you're
is
on
a fun watch.
It's a good one on a plane.
Throw it on a plane. It's definitely the easiest movie to watch where someone commits suicide at the end.
Agreed.
I feel like it's most movies where
Agreed.
someone commits suicide at the end is probably a little harder.
Agreed.
But
Trying to
it
think of.
doesn't even really affect you that much at the end.
Yeah, you're like.
Yeah. I guess it's because it's just not that believable. So it's just not, you know what I mean? Like if he had been suicidal the whole time,
Right.
like, and I know they insert
Right.
that story, but if he actually would have,
Right.
like, it would have been, but it's like,
Right.
it's just like, I think it doesn't work. So it's
Right.
not hard to watch. You know what I mean?
I think it does.
Work?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, well, we disagree, but that's why it's your favorite movie. But,
Podcast.
But do you have any plugs?
MaddySmithComedy.com.
Yeah.
I'm always on tour.
You're always on tour.
I'm doing the same rooms that Raanan is.
Yeah. You know,
I don't know when this comes out, but you know.
and Maddie, people don't know this, but she wasn't always a comedian. I ran into her once, and I just asked her to tell me some jokes in the parking lot, and she had these jokes, and I said, "You're a comedian. You don't even know it."
All right.
And she was
I
like,
was like,
"Really?
I don't-
I just thought I was doing this for nothing." I'm
Yeah,
like,
I was
"No."
like, I don't do my own
And then
bits.
the next time I was at an arena, and I brought her up on stage, and I'm like, "Come on, Maddie." And I gave her the microphone, and she's like, "I don't know what I'm doing."
I'm
And
like,
then
I
she
don't
was-
know. Hey, everybody.
she's launched into it because I always do.
Yeah,
she just
you know.
needed a man to
I
tell
had it,
her.
yeah. I was hanging
that
out
she
with too
had
many gay
talent.
guys.
Yeah. They're catty. She needed a man to be like, "You're a comedian. You don't
can
even
do
know
it.
it."
Yeah, if a man does that to a girl, he's
That's what we need. A woman needs a
Right.
man to tell her
I know.
that she's talented.
I know.
Otherwise, she'll just write songs while, like, cleaning the kitchen.
Well, I think guys always think they're always asking me to write with them.
So, all right, MaddySmithComedy.com.
Yeah, go
Not
check
to be
me out.
confused with Maggie Smith, the actress, but she died.
The dame.
So now
it's
you don't
not
have
a
to be
problem.
because people confuse those.
Always.
People watch Downton Abbey and they're like, "Oh, I thought that was Maddie Smith
They
from
did
Wild
think,
and Out,"
and
in
vice
the movie.
versa.
Yeah.
They think Maggie Smith is on
On
Wild.
Wild and Out. Oh, this is a.
Pick up and kill it and kill it and kill
So
it.
kind of like when Bill Paxton died and Bill
Yes.
Pullman no longer has to be confused with him.
Exactly.
So you now follow him. All right, and follow me. I'm all over the place. Go to punchup.live/Raanan. So go there, and yeah, if you have hopefully you've watched, but if you haven't watched, I recommend the movie. It's very fun. A lot of great
It's
music.
fun. It's not really. Yeah, you won't be
and
mad.
You won't
even
be
if
mad.
Raanan doesn't like it. It's
And
fun.
we'll be back next week. Thank you, Maddie, for being our first
Honored.
episode. Yeah.
Honored. Happy to be in the basement.
All right, cut.
Raanan is fat and he's a Jew. He'll tell you something that you already knew. Your favorite movie sucks. Your favorite movie sucks. American Beauty or Forrest Gump. Your favorite movie sucks.